everyone. Welcome to Aftermath TV. Caroline here with the boys through your screen. We got Anthony Corelli, Nug, and Jimmy Corderas. And good news for you guys is we have our wins and fails ready from the entire week, from Raw, SmackDown, NXT, whatever it might be. We're ready to get them out there. And also, as always, we want to hear what your wins, what your fails were from the past week too. So don't forget to tweet us, let us know what you're thinking, and then join us every single Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern time to talk on our live stream about everything that's going on in WWE. Okay, enough of me. Nug, I want to hear your win.
My win is not only did the Women's Tag Team Championships get defended on SmackDown in a very long match, which was fantastic, but it looks like Nikki and Alexa have a finishing move. It's kind of reminiscent of a 3D, but also like a jumping DDT. Sort of looks like the snapshot that Eminem used to use. I love when a tag team has a finishing move, and I think this is the first time that our women's champions have had a finishing move. So it's fantastic. It just cements that you're a tag team when you have a finishing move, and I love that they pulled it off on Friday.
Yeah, it's good. Sorry, Jimmy, go ahead.
No. Go, AC.
Oh, it's the more they use it, and the more they're successful with it, it becomes such a valuable tool of storytelling. That way you have these amazing reactions when you know it's a guaranteed win, or when they do it and it's unsuccessful.
Exactly.
So I really hope they stick with it, hammer it down, and use it, because it's very valuable to have an established maneuver.
I think that's one of the things that this new generation of wrestling is lacking right now, is definitive finishing moves, like Nug said. And like AC emphasized, if you establish this thing as something that nobody kicks out of, or at the very least extremely rarely kicks out, and then it becomes something, it's I think a little bit of a lost art now. Everybody's trying so hard to up the game to the point where, oh, how could we outdo these guys, and how about stop trying to outdo and just do, if that makes sense.
Also, the chemistry between Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross inside of the ring, on the mic, even when they're walking around, sometimes when you're doing interviews, whatever pay-per-view it is, they're just always together. They're so funny. You can tell they're very comfortable with each other, which I think is another reason why they're so great to watch. Like, I really, really am enjoying them right now.
It's that whole thing, just like the New Day. They're comfortable with each other. They're having fun, and you can tell Alexa and Nikki are having a good time.
And they're growing together. They're growing. They're meshing. You're right.
Yeah, Anthony.
There's communication styles. Sometimes someone can give you a lot of ideas, and you can stifle them, or you can take them and add to them, and kind of, it seems like they have that creative flow between the two of them, where they're just able to communicate open, take what each other has said, and expand upon it.
And they're funny. Like, Alexa Bliss is more of like the sarcastic, not mean girl, but you know what I mean, like cheeky. And Nikki Cross is like this exciting, like bubbly person. I don't know. I just love them together. I think they're so great. Okay, Anthony, your win.
My win, man. It's MVP. He's just so far ahead of everybody else with regards to his mic skills. It's awesome, but it's also bad because, like, I mean, I know he's there as a producer. I don't know if it's circumstances that are kind of putting him on TV more and more. Whatever it is, I don't care. He's a great storyteller just in general, in person, in real life. He's very good at entertaining and telling stories, and he's very well spoken. And he is, I just think, a valuable, huge asset to the programming right now. One, because it's good programming, and two, it's to kind of educate the young guys and just like, look, this is how it's done. I can tell you how it's done, but if I show you how it's done, you're going to remember it a lot more. And he is showing everybody just how to conduct himself with his cadence, his choice of words, his presence, his confidence. He is incredible. And I thought back in the day when he had the VIP lounge, he was always great. I always thought he was just great on screen in every aspect, wrestling. And so anyway, that's my win. I hope he sticks around a lot more.
No, I totally agree with that. And for me, it's a personal bias because MVP is a friend, and I got to know him very well, and getting to see him develop into the MVP that we see today, it's amazing. And he's a testament to the fact that, like I said earlier, you don't have to do crazy stuff to get the crowd invested in what you do. Like you said, he talks he could talk people into getting invested. And again, at times it's a bit of a lost art today because people seem to think that they have to stick to their guidelines. They have to stick to this for lack of this train track. I have to stay this. I have to stay online. He could think outside the box. He could think on the fly, and there's a believability factor too.
Yeah, he has.
What I like is that he showed up one week for a match, then he hosted the VIP lounge, then he had another match, hosted the lounge, and also just became a manager of Shane Thorne and Daniel Vink from NXT, who apparently come over to Raw. You want to manage? Cool. You want to manage and host a talk show? That's a little bit of a plate spinning there, and you're still going to be in the ring? This guy can do it all. And I love that he's got Vink and Thorne, because who knows? These guys are like completely untested. They've barely been on television with NXT. I love that he's like, these are my guys, and we'll see how far they go.
And he's producing as well. He's an interesting person. He grew up in Miami. He worked in the nightclub scene for many years. He's at the front door, so he knows that he always dealt with high rollers and high stress situations and people. I want to get in and VIP bottles and blah blah blah. And also, he's also a success story. If you know his backstory, he got in some trouble as a teenager. He did his time, and it's not over if you make a mistake. That's very important for people to know, that you can get back on track and work really hard and still be a success story.
Oh, that's really well said.
Sure.
I like that. Okay, we'll end on Anthony's words of wisdom. Okay, my win. Guys, the sky is the limit for the 24/7 championship. Now that Rob Gronkowski is back in the NFL, nothing made me smile wider than seeing that all happen. We got Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski in Tampa. As far as I know, Gronk's still 24/7 championship. Does this mean Tom Brady's going to pin him for the title? Does this give room for other NFLers to come in? Does this give room for R-Truth to come and get in the NFL picture, the WWE picture? Like, there is so many things that can happen that we haven't seen ever. So I'm just so excited. Maybe we'll see Rob Gronkowski in some type of dual role where he's sometimes with WWE, obviously sometimes in the NFL. I'm so pumped for this because there's just so much room for exciting and, this like type of unknown content. Like, I think it could go so far, and I'm just so excited. Like, I would just love, and this is me being a Tom Brady fan, I would just love Tom Brady to get in the picture one way or another. Like, one way or another.
I don't know about the Tom Brady part, but I do think it is an interesting okay. Here's the thing. As we know, NFL games are once a week, which leaves the rest of the week open to practice and possibly getting into trouble with the 24/7 championship. Because you never, like you said, Caroline, this opens up a wide range of opportunities here to be creative, think outside the box, kind of do a little bit of a crossover with the NFL, which has a huge following. And this is an opportunity there to possibly gain an audience if you can. Can you imagine on a Monday Night Raw? Let's go to Tampa Stadium. Let's go to, you know what I mean? There's a lot of opportunity here.
Jimmy, do you not like Tom Brady?
No, it's not that I don't like him. I don't see him as someone who would be interested in it. It's more like he would have like 5 guys blocking for him before he goes for the 24/7 championship. You know what I mean?
He's a good salesman. Maybe he can get him on board. But it also, then it opens the doors to the NBA. Look at the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yes.
He's a massive wrestling fan. So now let's do some math. And let's say these guys are 25 years old-ish. Gronkowski, obviously, but Brady's a little older. When wrestling was big, 15 years ago, right? You know what I mean? John Cena was becoming really mainstream with a lot of the kids at that time. I know it's crazy to think about it, but yeah, man. A lot of kids were watching, and a lot of kids grew up, and some of them are professional athletes, and that little kid's always still inside them.
Yep.
I love that there's an opportunity for Gronk to score a touchdown. There could be an end zone celebration, and somehow R-Truth is dressed like a linebacker, and he sneaks into the celebration, rolls Gronk up for a pin, and takes off with the title live during a football game.
That would be awesome.
Could you imagine? That's what I'm saying. Like, I know we're reaching for the stars over here, but like, I don't know. I think something really cool could happen. Like, I just get so excited sitting here and thinking about it. So I'm really.
As long
I've seen touchdown celebrations where they do cover and then count, or cover and count.
as long as Ed Hockley is the referee that counts the pin with those big guns of his, then I'm happy.
All right, Jimmy, your win.
Okay, this one might rub the. I know it rubbed the interweb the wrong way, but this is called Jimmy's win, not everybody else's win. I enjoyed the SmackDown celebration / roast of Triple H on Friday night. I thought it was fun. For me, it was entertaining because I got most of the references being there, and not only that. As someone, okay, Google it, kids. As someone who is a fan of the old Dean Martin roasts back in the day, I kind of had fun with it. And despite the fact that Vince sounded like he didn't sound too good, did he? But it was like the first empty arena SmackDown where Triple H was on commentary and he was just being Triple H and having fun and just letting loose. And it was like, who cares what comes out of my mouth? We're just going to do this. And it felt genuine. It felt for lack of a better term, unscripted, unrehearsed. I had fun with it.
Yeah, I thought it was fun.
We're laughing because Nug and I have completely different takes on it.
That's a fact.
Cool.
That is an absolute fact.
No, Jimmy, obviously, like, you know, there are times where I have wins and no one agrees with me, right? So like and Anthony agrees with you, so it's completely valid. But Anthony, do you have anything to go on to say to what Jimmy said?
I've seen worse, I've seen better. It was kind of neutral to it. I mean, I just like seeing Vince.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. And obviously a big moment for Triple H too. But Nug, I'm gonna let you start off the fails directly correlating to what Jimmy said.
Oh, sure. I hate to be counterpoint to Jimmy's win, but it was completely rehearsed. The jokes were seen coming a mile away, especially from someone in comedy. The timing was off. There's nothing quite like watching wrestlers do comedy, and then wrestlers who have retired doing comedy is a little bit worse because the timing's way off. They're not as sharp as they used to be. Second of all, Vince McMahon came out. And if you want to call it a roast and everybody knows what's going on, great. They called it a celebration, and anybody watching that show, just watch Vince McMahon come out, call Triple H an idiot, say the show sucked, reference some of the oldest bits that didn't work in WWE history, and then turn the lights out to deafening silence. Probably didn't go over as well as they thought it was gonna.
I thought that was part of the charm of it. I don't know. I just that's just me. And I love some of the clips of some of the outtakes that we don't get to see sometimes. Referencing Katie Vick twice. Oh my goodness. I mean, I think it I don't know. Again, like I said, for me, it was entertaining.
No, Jimmy, but you're not alone. I remember looking on Twitter and people were actually saying, you know, how much they loved it and how funny it was. So that's why before actually this stream started, I asked you guys, what did you think? Because I thought I was alone in the fact that I was sitting on my couch and I was like, this is very awkward.
You and I definitely have different Twitter accounts. That's for sure.
Yeah. So, well, I'll send you the tweets because WWE tweeted out like a clip of the segment and people were just commenting about how much they loved it and how funny they thought it was. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, am I the only one who's feeling like very awkward watching this? Because I thought it was there. I don't know. It was just, it just didn't work for me, but that's also because maybe I really hate awkward situations and I just love that more.
No, I totally understand why, because it was almost like they did it for themselves.
Yes,
yeah.
100%.
You know what I mean?
So it wasn't a televised show that they did for themselves. They're already doing it for nobody. They don't do an additional thing for themselves.
One time, Ozzy Osbourne was a special guest general manager of Monday Night Raw, and Vince insisted I did an Ozzy and Harriet joke. And
I remember that.
Yeah, and I remember it was complete crickets. No one even knows that. Anyway, and he insisted, so I did it. And I did it.
Do you still sweat about thinking about it?
What's that?
Are you still like your joke and the fact?
Oh
that
no, it's the boss's show, and he wanted it.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. All right, AC, what's your fail?
Jinder. He had this big return, and he beats up Tozawa. How much of a splash is that? Give me somebody a heavyweight. You know, beat the heck out of a heavyweight, and now that's a return. It just unless he's going to go to that cowardice, villainous, I pick on little guys storyline type thing. Then I understand that, but
he didn't look like he was going to play a coward last night. He looked like he walked out, murdered a guy, and left.
Yeah, but a tiny little guy.
Yeah, that's the definition of enhancement.
Yeah, I just thought if you want to make a statement, you don't beat up a little guy.
Ease him back in. I think we've got enough big guys versus big guys matches. It didn't work for Bobby Lashley, as you saw last night. So yeah.
Well, I think they didn't want to ease him. I think they wanted a splash, and there was not much of a splash with a little pebble like Tozawa.
But Tozawa lately has looked a lot better than Joe No Name that Lashley fought.
Yeah, true. And Jinder did look good. He did look good.
He cut his hair.
Yeah.
Jimmy, what's your fail?
I thought last night was a lost opportunity. I know we've seen contract signings at nauseum at times, but under the circumstances and what we've been seeing lately, I thought creatively there could have been a different opportunity here to do it outside the ring. Usually it's done in the ring in front of an audience so you can, point, counterpoint, get to where you're going with the situation. This could have been done differently. It could have been done in a boardroom, at Titan Tower, where actually Money in the Bank is happening. We could have got a preview of what the building kind of looked like, maybe a little bit. Maybe they destroy a room. Remember back when they did the contract signing between Hogan and Andre with President Jack Tunney sitting there in the middle? And yeah, something like that. I just think that
a press conference, something.
They're
pretty boring these days, to be honest.
Yeah.
Contract signing, who cares?
Yeah, because look, we've seen the Boneyard match, we've seen the Firefly Funhouse match. We're seeing a little stuff outside the box. Take outside the box with the contract signing. Why not?
We've seen a contract signing so many times, and spoiler alert, they never turn out well.
Yeah.
But it could have. There was an opportunity last night to do anything else instead of the same old, and they just gave us the same old, same old.
I think what they should do is they should have a bunch of guys behind the host of the contract signing. And when one guy takes his pen and signs his name, they all go, oh, just to make it look exciting somehow.
Oh my God.
I don't know about
I think that's the thing about the Boneyard match and the Firefly Funhouse match. We talked about it a little bit before. It's like the bar's been set, and now we almost expect something cool and something new and exciting, but it's not, the reality is it's not always going to happen. But when it doesn't, we're kind of like, okay.
Lasers.
All right, my fail. It's not really a fail. It's just an observation. I love Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross being tag team champs. I just wish Dana Brooke and Carmella had a little bit more time in the ring to kind of showcase their skill set together. I was actually really excited about that because I loved their promo out of the ring when Carmella and Dana Brooke approached Alexa and Nikki. And I was excited to see what was going to happen because Dana Brooke hasn't had like a massive storyline lately. Carmella's kind of been, out of the picture. So I was like, great, like this is an awesome opportunity for these two superstars to come together and kind of show what they got. I don't think they should be tag team champs, but I just wish it was a little longer. Those two superstars, in my opinion, have improved and really grown on me. So I was just really, really looking forward to it, and it was just quick. So that it's really not a fail, just an observation.
No, that's one of the problems with having a division like a women's tag team division. There isn't really women's tag teams in the division, so you have to kind of put two women together to challenge the champions, and that's a challenge in itself.
Yeah.
Well, and you have to give them reasons to go after the championship. There's no contenders, there's no teams, so we need to get a whole bunch of lead up as to why they're getting together, why they want to fight for the championship, why, and all of that takes time. And it seems we don't have enough time lately.
Yeah, you know what? It's a good point for young up and coming professional wrestlers. Let's say on the indies. If you're a girl and you got another girl who's, you can be a tag team with, establish yourself as a tag team at the grassroots level, and you can work your way up and be a specialist. Because if we're gonna stick with this division and the tag team championships, you do yourself a favor. That's the path of least resistance. If you become a female tag team specialist, we don't really have that.
Right.
Well, a couple, but not really.
Yeah.
Shout out Big Magic. Well, his name is Martel now, and he was on Monday Night Raw last night, and
the boys from Montreal, Ever Rise,
from over there in Quebec. Over
there.
All right, guys, that's it for our wins and fails. Thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to let us know what your win and your fail was from the past week. It better be that Gronk is back in the NFL and the 24/7 championship's about to be. I was about to say it was about to be lit, but I've never said that in my life, and I never want to.
Or it means nothing unless they go back to the creamsicles.
All right, guys.
They missed an opportunity at the draft. That's for sure.
That's right.
All right, guys, let us know your thoughts and tune in on Friday for our live streams on Sportsnet, YouTube, and Facebook. See ya.